Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. How many times have you been in a campground where you have this as your view? Well, we have that this time. We're at 1,000 Trails Park, 1,000 Trails Whalers Rest, just outside of Newport, Oregon, right on the coast. And we want to show you what this beautiful park has to offer.
Come along.
Now, Newport is only about 6 miles up the 101, and we're on our way back to the park from there. This is a map of the park. There's a road that we're going to turn off on 123. Half of the park is on the right or the south side, the other half's on the north. This is 123. There are no signs out there, so make sure you are watching where you're going because there's not a 1,000 Trails sign out there. Come just a short way back and you'll see this, 1,000 Trails Whalers Rest. Everybody enters the south side. That's where you'll check in. Right behind that sign is their tennis court. And their ranger station. And that's where you'll check in at. Now over here on the left you'll see this building, and it kind of hides more than what first comes to mind.
It sure does.
It's got a lodge in there. It's got a nice billiards room, but if that's not the kind of pool you're looking for, you go through the men's or the women's door and it's got a beautiful indoor pool and spa.
Yes, it is beautiful. I love the indoor.
It's really, really nice. Now we're going to come back just a short ways here. Right there on the left is one of the dump stations. There are a couple of those also spread throughout the park. And you'll come up to the security gate. Now, this is the south side of the park, and every space in this park, so they tell me, and according to their map, I think it's every space but 4, are 50 amp, 30 amp, full hookup sites. So the nice thing is, with this being a first come, first serve, you're only jockeying around to get the site in the area where you want, not to get full hookup or not to get 50 amp.
It's also nice to know if you're coming in a little late in the day too.
And we let this fella back in here ahead of us. We do have a little traffic as we go around here that isn't normal. So just to let you know, these roads are one way and it's a loop that goes around this side. People do not normally park in the middle of the street, but this was those folks' toad, and they had just set it up here to get their rig in the site. So it's not normally that tight getting through here. Everything is wooded, but everything is trimmed way up, so you have no problem with your rig. And you'll come to this sign that says "To the Beach." And this is a neat little trail.
It really was.
Has a little bridge. And it's from when you leave the park there, it's maybe a minute or 2. It's a very short little trail, but it's all kept
nice and clean, clear.
You can take your dogs down through there, no problem with that. And when you come out, you'll see the traffic of 101 there. And that is access to the Lost Creek State Park, which is a beach area. They have restrooms over there, picnicking. It's day use only. And it has a nice ramp and steps that go down to the beach. So you've got beach access right there from the park. And it's a really nice beach.
Oh, it is. And we had beautiful weather.
Yeah, it was third week of July and mid-60s every day. Now just past that beach access, the road will make not a sharp bend, but almost a 180-degree bend.
Yeah.
We've had no traffic ever when we've driven through here, and we did today.
Yeah.
And now we're coming back up the other side of this loop on the south side.
Every single site is beautiful.
And just about every single site was full the entire time we were there. This is high use restriction season in this park during the summer, so just be aware of that. On the left, you'll see a sign that says tents. When you look back there, you'll see the playground and this road. The road goes back to a group of tent sites.
And it was busy too.
Very. Now, a little bit different than our normal video. Well, we'll get to that. But there's a dog run area that comes off. And they've got a big open area as well as the fenced dog park. All was grassed. They were kept nice. Now, a little bit different than our normal video. We're going to show you our site now. We probably had one of the most narrow sites in there. We were actually probably a little bit big of a rig to be in this site, but it's paved where you park, and the hookups are new, modern. Everything's good. The electrical was at the front of the site, which was a little different, but we didn't even have to use our extension cord. That's how tall these trees are, but there's nothing above the coach. It was really nice.
And that was kind of a rare spot for being so narrow.
Now, that was the bathhouse in our area, and it was busy. Their bathhouses are cleaned twice a day, which we really appreciate, seeing 1,000 Trails doing that. And it was busy all day, so I'm going to show you inside one on the other side of the park that wasn't as busy, but very comparable. Now, if you're familiar with Whalers Rest, they've just made a change. This is a nice little horseshoe area they have as you're going towards the exit of the south side. They've always had trash cans, and my understanding is they've been kind of a mess. They've now put in compactors on both sides of the park.
And those are nice.
And it uses your code, like the door handle that you have on the bathhouse. You put in a code to open it, and when you shut the door, it automatically runs the compactor, so they're never full and overflowing.
And I believe they still have their recycling.
They still do have the blue recycle cans, yes. Now we're crossing that 123 and going over into the north side park. The first loop where you see the road going up to the right, they just put an X on it for us when we came in. They said no big rigs up there. There is an access road in the back that you go in the wrong way on a one-way if you do need to get a big rig up into there, but they basically tell you don't bring a big rig into this first loop. So, and there were a couple in there that were pretty decent size. The road off to our left is an exit road. That's where they bring you in if you are going to be up there in a larger rig. And it's just a small loop.
The trees aren't quite as tall.
No. I believe it's about a little less than 200 sites. So it's not a large park. Straight ahead of us, this whole group is all cabins down that loop. There's the compactors that they've just put in this side, and the recycle bins.
The place is clean as could be.
Yeah, and there was always people out in the golf carts doing maintenance around the sites and cleaning, and they've been on top of this park. Now this is another loop. On our right-hand side are a few pull-through spaces. There is 5 pull-throughs over on this side. There are 3 pull-throughs over on the other side. So just about every site in this park is a back end. Now back here at the very back of this loop, there's a grassy area. It'd be a great little dog walk. Nothing fenced over here though. The amenities are kind of split between the two sides. The pool's on the south side, the laundry's on the north side. So you do have access to both sides while you're there.
I do love this park.
Yeah, it's almost got a state park feel to it.
Yeah.
It's very wooded. The sites are very separated. Like I said, we had one of the more narrow sites and probably not as separated as some, but we had beautiful views of the trees around us. Now the building you see there is the North Clubhouse. And this is where the laundry is. Again, just as clean as can be.
Spotless.
And this is the inside of the clubhouse. They do have a billiards table, foosball table. This is the view off of their back deck. So if you want to go back on the back deck and just hang out outside, you got a beautiful view there. This is the bathrooms up there. There was nobody here at the time, so it gave me an opportunity that I could film these for you. Very, very clean. This one had a handicap shower that you could roll into. Down in the lower level, there's shuffleboard. And this is the door to their fitness center. It uses a different code, which we didn't have, so I wasn't able to take you inside that. Going around the last loop on this side, just here on our right, is a really nice miniature golf course. These first couple of sites are 30 amp, and the last couple of sites here on the left are dry camping and tent sites. Got a little bit of a wooded area here. When we come out of that, there'll be some more campsites, and these are all back to the 50 amp full hookup now.
And for being July, it was actually just so pleasant even being in the sun. The temperature is so perfect here.
Yeah, I think our coolest day had a high of 62, and our warmest day had a high of either 66 or 68. So it never broke 70 the whole time we were there.
The sunshine was welcome.
Yes, it was very, very nice. And it's a very peaceful park. There's families here, but the park tends to be a little quiet. Be aware, they said if you have AT&T, there's a little bit of cell service. Our Verizon and T-Mobile were practically non-existent. So if we needed to make a phone call or check anything out online, we'd make the 6-mile run into Newport. And we had great cell service there. So it's close by, it's just not at the park. There's also a lot of trees, so Starlink users are about a 50-50 also. Well, Kathy, the park has everything, including an ocean and the beautiful forest. What did you think about our stay at Whalers Rest?
It can't be beat. It really can't be beat.
It really is nice. We have probably one of the more narrow sites in the entire park, and but we've been on the go and enjoying being outdoors so much that we haven't really been home enough that it's been any kind of an issue.
That's right.
So you just don't get a park with much more than this park has to offer. And when you roll that in with, we stayed here for 9 nights and it didn't cost us a penny out of pocket. Sounds like a pretty good deal.
It sure does.
And if you don't know how to get that deal, then you need to get a hold of our friends, Warren and Sharon Lewis. They will tell you all the different ways that you can become a 1,000 Trails member and stay in places like this, East Coast, West Coast, you name it. They have wonderful parks, and you can bring your cost of camping so far down and keep it very affordable.
It's so worth it.
So give them a call, drop them an email, tell them Whaler's Rest is how I want to camp. How do I do it? And they'll come up with a way that will make it worthwhile and affordable for you.
That's right.
With that, if you've enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We sure do appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you'll know when each of our videos come out twice each week.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.
Thanks for watching today.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out.
Don't forget to follow us on social media too.